People say that they don't believe me and stuff. I'm really gonna change myself, bro. I'm really gonna change, and I'm really gonna become something that I've never done before. I'm gonna step out of my comfort zone and really shock people and really be like, whoa. You know what I mean? Like that's the goal for me. I want someone who's watching me and be like, all right, Aiden, all eyes are on you right now. You're a fat, lazy, he calls me pudgy. You're pudgy as fuck, you know what I mean? Whatever, pudgy G. I want to see you become something you're not. And I want to see you, become a boss. And I'm gonna do it. I'm really gonna do it.
Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day, and say to yourself, it's not over until I win.
Every morning I woke up, I had a real conversation with that dirty mirror. And every day, the same answer came back to me. Do you want to be on your deathbed knowing that you could, but you didn't? And so every day I kept saying that.
I feel to be at the pinnacle of any game, in whatever you do, you've got to be a little bit gone to it. You're not all there. You've got to be almost insane to your craft. Not a lot of people can understand that. That's why I don't know about nothing else. I do not pay attention to nothing else. There was games of football on yesterday, there was rugby, there was this, there was that. And like normal society is like, let's talk about this and let's engage in this. And I can't do it. I just don't, people are talking to me and in my head I'm counting something. I'm counting up a number or I'm knee deep in a sequence on the mat or on the feet. That's my life, sequences and numbers, nothing else. I cannot pay attention to nothing else.
Is that when it feels scary to jump, Ian, that is exactly when you jump. Otherwise, you end up staying in the same place your whole life. And that I can't do.
The aspect of being a failure doesn't come from the success in the end. It comes from if you really quit on yourself, or if you don't put in the effort you know you can put in, you're kind of holding back on your true potential. That's when I think you really deep down feel like a failure, like underneath your soul.
He's pushing the runner, and there's a jogger, actually. Look at this. Wow. It's a Florida man right there for you, playing jogging in the hurricane.
You have to consider the price you pay for inaction. People presume that inaction has no cost. You don't get to not make a choice. Not making a choice is still making a choice. Every minute that goes by, that this decision is undone, is a choice. The common feeling that your life has not begun, that your present reality is a mere prelude to some idyllic future. This idyll is a mirage that'll fade as you approach, revealing that the prelude you rushed through is in fact the one to your death.
It's hard when you're young to wake up in the off season at 6 a.m. to go train and work out, knowing that all your friends are sleeping in and eating pancakes. It's hard when you're on your way to practice, weighed down with all your gear, and it's 90 degrees out and all the other kids are at the pool or at the beach, and your body is already completely exhausted from workouts in 2-a-days. It's hard to throw, catch, block, and tackle, and hit kids when they're way bigger and way more developed than you, only to go home that night bruised and battered and strained, but knowing you have to show up again the next day for just the chance to try again. But understand this, life is hard. Focus on what you can control. Focus on what you're getting, not what anyone else is getting. Whenever you get an opportunity, you take advantage of it. You treat it like it's the Super Bowl. You treat it like it's game day. Go out there and treat practice like no one else does. And I did that every single day, and it was a lot. It was taxing on me.
I said, well, I don't know whether it's going to work or happen as well, but I know that if you did the work, it's likely to happen.
Yeah.
And I go, but are you willing to do the ugly?
Yeah.
He said, what do you mean? I said, the ugly.
When you have a dream, the one thing you have to watch out for are those out there that'll try to crush your dream. And you cannot allow that to happen. That is your biggest challenge. So I challenge you to have your dream, go after it with all you have, and be legendary in your own right.
If people really care about changing minds, they need to realize, and assuming that they think that they're correct, they need to realize that like intellectual chasm from where they are and where other people are. And you go, okay, I'm going to take you one step at a time. You're not afraid of failing. You're afraid of what other people will think of you if you fail. But if you're afraid of that, imagine what they think of you when you aren't even trying. Oh yeah, they aren't.
I'm afraid of what this person's going to think about me. Because if I were to be able to fail in quiet, in complete isolation, then I wouldn't care. And then I think, well, what if I don't succeed in public? What do they think then? Nothing, right? They don't think about me at all. You might as well use the insecurity to get something out of it, right? Like one of my favorite things about entrepreneurship is like use what you've got. And so a lot of people think that they need to fix their conditions in order to get like the perfect conditions before they start. But the perfect condition is whatever one you're in, because it gives you whatever assets you have. That's the cards that you're dealt. And so you just play the hand. And a lot of people have great cards. It's like, man, I'm so afraid of, it's like, use it. It's like, I have nothing. What makes you very dangerous because you have nothing to lose.
I just keep pushing. I just keep myself in motion the entire time. And I talk about dials, not switches a lot with people. And it sounds selfish, but I have to be selfish right now in order to be selfless later. So I tell guys, as soon as that alarm clock goes off, I'm not thinking about my wife. I'm not thinking about my kids. I'm thinking about being as efficient as humanly possible. And I'm trying to hit that gym so I unrack at 07 the best version of me.
Change is an action-based affair. You cannot make a change by ruminating in your mind. And I have a tool that I think will be helpful for this. And that tool is a phrase, and that phrase is mood follows action. Instead of waiting for the feeling to inspire the action, take the action and enjoy the feeling as a consequence of having undertaken it.
So there's nothing there. You just think there's no one coming to save you, except Mr. Goggins, who's gonna punch you square in your face and tell you shut up and do the thing. And that is 100% what you need right there.
Anger was good. Anger was good because it was motivating. The more I could create an enemy, the more I wanted to go out and kill those guys. Now, I knew I wasn't gonna kill them physically, but man, if I could just, what did they say? And what did they look like? Did they disrespect me at all? And did that asshole say something? Like, those are little things that can get me right in the emotional frame of mind that when I ran on the field and I said, let's fucking go. It was really, let's go kick some ass.
It's scary when you find a thing that you're going to fully commit yourself to the pursuit of, especially if it's excellence that you're going after, because there's no more room for your inadequacies to hide anymore. You can't decide to change direction, do something else if things get tough. There's no more ejector seat, right? I've committed to this. This is my thing. This is one of your rules.
You can't stop. You can't quit. You can't say, I'm a failure. You're not a failure. You're not. You're a wonderful, strong, intelligent youngster.
For me, I made a decision, and my decision was to be the best person I could. And I basically, a lot of mornings I wake up and say, fuck your feelings. And that doesn't mean like, don't take it literally, fuck your feelings. But sometimes you have to go beyond what you're feeling.
Shut the fuck up. What the hell are you talking about? When you expect to feel like you always want to go to the gym or always want to do your taxes or always want to do whatever it is you think is important, you have made a grand illusion. Some of the time, you will not want to do the thing.
The same vigilance it takes to work when you're exhausted just so you can provide for your family is the same vigilance you need to heal internally and to wage those wars against childhood trauma, the mother wound, the father wound. Whatever it is that's causing you to lose in life, it's time that we learn how to fight the right fight.
Most of us, we live in a box, and we don't want to go outside that box at all, ever. Outside that box is all these possibilities of life. What we do is we shackle our mind. We are a prisoner in our own mind that this is all I can do. This is all I'm good at. Not knowing that you have the power within yourself to change millions of lives by facing life, by facing yourself. And through that, I would die never knowing that I had the power to change millions of lives.
But it does mean you can't be strong if you're weak. If you're weak, you're fucked. And there's a lot of weak people in this country right now that are trying to take control. And they're gathering up all the other weak people and they say, yeah, let's all be weak together.
The thing I believe is that you gotta be willing to do what others aren't, right? Want to have what others won't, you gotta be willing to do what others don't.
I fight against my mind. Yes, sometimes it's happened. We are all human beings. We are not happy every day. We are, not in a good mood every day. It's normal. It's part of us. I fight against that. It's the big challenge. It's when you're not willing to do something, but you have to do it. This is the main point. This is why I say our mind, it's a box of surprises, and you have to challenge yourself to be consistent.
I didn't want to keep forgiving myself on Sunday and then repeat and do the same shit again Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and then go, oh, now I can be forgiven. I was like, no, man. Forgive me, Father. I know what I'm doing, and I'm keep doing it. Cut the shit, McConaughey. Quit giving yourself that out, that parachute.
And when you go from being uncomfortable, that's your lifestyle, you get used to being uncomfortable. Right. When you go back to being comfortable, your mind says, I don't want to go back to being uncomfortable again.
Your mind can be your home or your prison. You get to choose which. Talk to me about how your mind can be a home or a prison.
Every day when you get out of bed, life's standing right there to kick you in the fucking face, man. Could be anything. Could be you get up and you walk downstairs, you got a fucking flat tire and you're late for work and you got this and that. Life is gonna throw all kinds of crazy shit at you, right? And you have to be ready for it and you gotta fucking deal with it. You can't curl up into a ball, you can't run away from it, you can't hide. You have to take all this shit head on.
You have to believe on some level that you can hit it. And you also have to believe even more that you will die trying. And I think that your commitment has to be to the effort that you're willing to put forth and completely divorced of the outcome.
The grind is really what's gonna be hard though, because everybody get comfortable, everybody be doing this, everybody be doing that. And the way I be thinking is that if I'm taking any breaks, there's somebody out there right now that's literally grinding his ass off and is gonna blow up anytime now. And he or she is dead ass like working her or his ass off. And I always think like that, or I always think of like, okay, how's my ground coming up? Like, you can't get comfortable in this shit.
You gotta let go of that stuff from the past, because it just doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what you choose to be now.
I can't miss morning movement. I can't do it. That will ruin my day. And if I'm rushed through morning movement, if somebody comes in, somebody beats on the door and they're like, hey, we were in the neighborhood, just wanted to come see you. Can we talk for 20 minutes? No, you can't. No, I'm sorry. And I know it sounds bad. You can't, because I know what happens if I miss this day. And I'm not willing to take the chance on you right now. You can wait an hour. Wait till I'm done.
Saying that, as a man, your life is supposed to be shit. My argument to this is people go, oh, I don't feel good. I say, good. Your life as a man is going to be terrible the entire time.
Life isn't going to be easier, but you could go. Let me give you an example.
Sure.
When Jesus was walking on the water, this is the example I say. When a storm hits, the storm is still hitting. But there's a difference from you drowning in the storm or standing above the storm.
Absolutely.
And I think that you're always gonna have challenges and obstacles.
Storms are gonna come.
But I guarantee you, there's obstacles that you could walk through with a smile on your face that another man could fall apart.
I think the more art you create, hopefully the less pressure you put on yourself. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. If you keep making stuff, you just keep making stuff and hopefully you get better at it. It doesn't have to be so, you don't have to belabor it and polish the doorknob so long that you forget to open the door.
Any athlete knows that you can be the same physical being from one day to the next, one moment to the next, and perform completely differently just depending on what you're thinking. I was a gymnast growing up, and if you can't visualize, if you can't see something in your mind, then you have no chance when you get up there on the balance beam, right?
Something clicked that I'll never probably be able to do again, when my mind, body, spirit, soul, everything just connected. And my mind knew I wasn't fucking around anymore. It knew I wasn't gonna quit. It knew that guy was dead and buried and gone. And I was gonna die out here on this fucking Walmart for whatever reason why, I was gonna get through this motherfucker. I didn't give a damn. It made no, there was no fucking crowds. There was no trophy at the end. I wasn't even in a race in my mind. It was nothing. It wasn't about nothing. There was no nothing. It was a bunch of people who didn't know who the fuck I was, and it was me against me.
You can't stop people from trying to limit your dreams, but you can stop it from becoming a reality. Your dreams are up to you. I encourage you to always be curious, always seek out things you love, and always work hard once you find it.
It's like whatever's in front of me, I just give it every single thing I have, and I just try and just crush it and learn as much as possible.
The biggest risk to your future isn't your competition. It's the distractions you insist on keeping in your life rather than doing the things you know you should be doing but aren't. That's intention.
But it has to be, you need to be pinpoint accurate. I was walking past a guy in London the other day. He's like, you know, the up and coming guys now, they respect me because I've done good or whatever. And he's like, bro, I'm trying to do well. And I'm like, where are you going to be in 5 years? And he just couldn't answer the question. It was a bad answer that he gave me. I said, it's a bad answer. So you need to know. You need to really know. It needs to be in detail. And that's who I was. I knew in detail how I was going to live, you know,
what car I was gonna drive, you know, what life I was gonna live, how that I'd be functional, I would be my higher self, you know, and it's all just things that like I've just spent time designing.
Wood, who always said, you can't think your way into writing, you have to write your way into thinking. So if you just start writing, your brain will eventually go, oh, we're doing this now.
The simple answer is you don't deserve anything. It's just a question of what you can negotiate for yourself and what you can prove to the world.
You know, there's two ways that human beings will basically learn. One is by willfully shedding, and the other is by being broken open. And often it's a combination. And so words and phrases and expressions that matter are expressed in those openings.
Take the biggest fucking risks of your entire life right now. Remember, you have time. And in your 20s, you can get so scared and you can be so easily lulled into the idea that good is good enough, that feeling safe and comfortable is what you should always be looking for. That way of thinking in your 20s in particular, dead fucking wrong. I want you to start to create this mindset of taking risks and going big, because the only constant in your life for the rest of your life is change.
Let me be very clear. I'll never give up. Never.
So I'm gonna stop now, but just remember, never quit. Never quit.
My new norm is you get up every fucking morning at 4 o'clock and you suffer. This is your new norm. That became my new fucking life. Most people want to get out of it. I said, no, motherfucker, this is your new life. This is who you are. Your new norm is you wake up and you suffer. And I started realizing if that's my mentality, this shit ain't hard anymore. Right. Your fucking new norm is you wake up, you get in the fucking cold water, you're gonna be here till the shit's fucking done.
You know, fuck your tired body, fuck that unmotivated mind, and get out there and do it anyway. You know, you better fight yourself, because you're not only winning when things are going your way. You got to figure out how to win when things aren't going your way. You got to figure out when your body's fighting you, when your mind's fighting you. How do you still, you know, just say, fuck it, I'm gonna beat my mind today.
I had to invent a whole nother human being to get outside of my comfort zone. And that human being became Goggins. Goggins is like the guy that walks out of the phone booth. He's like that Superman that walks out of the phone booth. And I was talking to my fiance today about, it's kind of strange how sometimes I have a conversation between David Goggins, and Goggins will tell David Goggins about the shit he's done. And David Goggins like, what the hell, man? Why are you doing that? That's nuts. So it's kind of this battle between trying to find more of yourself, knowing that the real you is afraid, likes comfort, likes living in a world that is that likes to pat you on the back, give you the things that you want to hear, not the things that you have to hear to get better.
I remember thinking that my imagination made it worse. In my own head, it was going to be the worst thing ever. Then I actually fought him, and it wasn't. It's like, it was okay. You know, I did okay, right? But that taught me a very early lesson, is that we can get in our own heads so much. We can psych ourselves out so much. We can almost talk ourselves into a fearful situation, as opposed to just being.
If you want to be good, you really don't have a lot of choices, because it takes what it takes. You have to do what you have to do to be successful. So you have to make the choices and decisions to have the discipline and the focus to the process of what you need to do to accomplish your goals. And all these guys that think they have a lot of choices.
If you listen and you focus and you step out your comfort zone, you can achieve anything in life. Like I was nothing about 3 years ago. I'm here now. So I think if you listen and you focus and you just step out your comfort zone a little bit, who cares if you get embarrassed, you know? Anything can be impossible. But a big thanks to my parents.
Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it is called the present.
In male culture, it's very common that we teach strength through suppression. And for high-performing men, that is way over-indexed, right? So it's, I need to develop competency, capability, strength, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, in the boardroom, whatever. but I'm going to do that by suppressing the unsavory parts of myself. I'm going to suppress, maybe it's empathy. I'm going to suppress that I'm exhausted. I'm going to suppress these types of things. And there's a cost to that suppression. And so, part of the hallmark of being a great man in society has always been your capacity and capability of suppressing certain things in certain moments so that you could go and do the thing that nobody else wanted to do.
Don't let these motherfuckers tell you how you're supposed to feel. No, it's day one, motherfucker. This is hour one. So I was getting my boat crew all jacked up. I said, we're gonna take these motherfuckers' souls. You know how it is when you fight somebody and you broke that motherfucker. He's like, oh God, man, I don't wanna go back to the next round. And you feel like, my God, I can fight all day. I can fight all day long. That's what taking souls is. But you have to have the will, the heart, the courage to go that distance when you're exactly jacked up. You have nothing.
You do not become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Outwork your self-doubt. And ultimately, hoping that you're going to be able to believing that you can think your way out of a thinking problem is like believing you can sniff your way out of a cocaine addiction, right? You have to give yourself something else that's going to step change where you're at.
Your life is a book. Your life is a book. Your life got chapters. Each chapter in your life is a punctuation, whether it's a positive or a negative. And before you move on to that next chapter, you got a decision to make if I'm going to correct what I did in the chapter before. And ultimately, when you get to the end of that book, it's written by you. So how it ends, you wrote it.
I kind of gave up on school.
Right.
I kind of gave up on school. I kind of gave up on everything that I had to my old life and just put everything onto my stream. I streamed every day. I didn't care about nothing else but YouTube, streaming.
So I had this clock that was very aware that this was going to take time and that I had to look at the failure as the path to success. And so I thought, well, every joke that doesn't get a laugh is teaching me what not to do. And then I'm trying to think of the first thing that I thought was very funny.
that you thought, not that the result worked, because I think that's a really interesting part, right? I feel like sometimes we wait for the result to make us believe that we're worthy.
Yeah.
But there's a moment that I think when you do what you love, you're like, oh no, I can do this.
When you expect to feel like you always want to go to the gym or always want to do your taxes or always want to do whatever it is you think is important, you have made a grand illusion. Some of the time, you will not want to do the thing. The motivation will spike here. What it takes to get the thing done is up here. And at that point, there's not an amount of motive. You're all done motivating. It's still not enough.
Every person who's listening to this right now has listened to 1,000 fucking podcasts, and they're in the exact same condition, and yet they have not changed their behavior, which means 1, they have not learned, and 2, they are dumb. Which also means that if you can control your behavior, you can also control how intelligent you are. And so if you want to be a smart cookie, then it means that you just decrease the amount of times that you do not change your behavior under the same conditions.
So instead of trying to feel good, we do a good job of feeling. That's something you can start now. Even if what you have there to feel is difficult, it's not going to stay that way. Emotions come and go. You get emotions that get sticky, that hang around, or self-judgments that get sticky and hang around. The single biggest way to do it is you try to grab them and throw them away. And then move your attention towards what you care about. Now start getting your feet moving in that direction. Not to run away from this other thing, but to move towards what you care about. It's not distracting, it's attracting. And when you
and when our attention is depleted, we don't have as much impulse control. We might behave more aggressively. We may not be able to achieve our goals. And with a lot of things in the modern world, our attention is just being fatigued and we're depleted.
Other than that, I feel like I wasted a lot of time.
Yeah.
I feel like my life didn't really start until I got out of the Army. Like, I was tired. Like, I didn't get no sleep the previous night, so I came to work. I was working from 12 to 12.
Yeah.
My first regular job ever. I'm working 12 to 12, graveyard shift. And I didn't get no sleep the previous night. So I came to work at 12 and I was up 2-3 hours. And I almost fell asleep in front of the machine. And I woke up pretty much like catching myself. And like the plastic maker roller, it was just like rolling like in my face while I'm sitting here like.
Your life's all about feelings. We want the happy feeling. We don't want that feeling of this sucks. Why am I here? And you don't have any, so you can't answer those questions, so you leave.
I think you have to take care a little bit of your body, but without obsession. If you start today, you're gonna have benefits in the future. Doesn't matter the time. What is important is what you want to achieve.
Yeah.
What you want. You want to live a good life? Yes. I like to drink. I like to eat burger. Okay. You're gonna pay the bill in the future.
Right.
I think the most important is to find the balance. Sometimes I'm gonna eat a burger or chips. Well, it doesn't matter. And it's important too for your mind too. Sometimes I sleep 2 o'clock in the morning because last night I was in UFC here in Saudi and the main event, it's 2 o'clock. Yes, it's quality of life too. But the most important thing, it's the consistency. If you have consistency, you're gonna be good in the future, or you're gonna be better than other ones in the future.
Stop feeling sorry for yourself, find the silver lining, and get to work with the same belief, same drive, and same conviction as ever. One day, the beginning of a new career journey will commence. Today is not that day.
I've allowed life to make me feel like a loser. And a lot of us allow life to do that, and we accept it. And a lot of us talk about how we believe in God. We believe in something higher than us. If that is truth, you won't allow yourself to feel that way. Your best work has to come when you're least motivated. Where does that come from? It comes from basically, I had to stop thinking normal. I had to stop thinking normal. I can no longer be a common man walking around doing common things. But no one taught me this stuff. It wasn't like I had, I paid a trainer to come train me. Jenny Craig didn't come down and miracle my ass. None of this happened. It was on me. Fucking the purpose is you. We forget that. Every fucking day I wake up and I don't want to do some fucking shit. I'm like, okay, man, do you want to be a bitch today? Do you want to feel like a little bitch? Do you want to walk around all day knowing that you could, but you didn't? So it's perform without purpose. You have to learn how to get up and do shit when you ain't got no fucking 5K, no 10K, nothing. Nothing exists.
Stop trying to be like everyone. You don't even like everyone.
Will also be for most people listening, because again, we talk about the barriers to confidence. So one is of course the inner critic, right? That loud voice that is just telling you you're not good enough, that's stopping you from putting your best foot forward. But the other is this constant concern of, what will someone else think? And this is holding us back in so many ways.
Don't fail to pursue what it is you think you're meant to pursue in your life until you have total tranquility, for instance. That you have the house or the apartment you would like, until you have the relationship you would like, until you have the... Don't put it off until then. Or until the world is peaceful, which will never happen. Never happen. Never has happened, never will happen. Don't put it off till then, because if you put it off till then, it means you'll put it off forever. So do whatever you're meant to be doing now. Start now if you haven't started already. And if you've started already, don't go any slower.
Simple answer is you don't deserve anything. It's just a question of what you can negotiate for yourself and what you can prove to the world, that you're capable of, right? And then the money will flow from that.
If this were really important to me, how would I show up differently than I am right now? See, I think in life, oftentimes, we feel that something's important. And it could be something like you're a real estate agent. You have an open house this weekend. What does it look like if this open house is the most important open house you've ever done?
Yep.
You are a person who really wants to get into like YouTube and creating a YouTube channel. Okay, well, what does the video you're going to post look like and sound like and feel like if it's important to you?
Yep.
And I think a lot of times what we do is we put in, I can just say this for myself, we don't go all in because we're kind of afraid it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
And secretly, if you kind of half-ass it a little and you don't go all in, you can kind of blame that. But it was
an excuse. I didn't really try. It's
Yeah.
okay that it didn't work,
But
I didn't go all out.
If you want to find purpose, you have to take accountability for your life. And what I mean by that is like no one can bestow it upon you. No one can just give you a purpose. It is within you and it is there to be discovered, right? But at the same time, everything that happens to us in our lives, we have to say, okay, how did I contribute to this? How am I responding to this? How can I make this bad situation better? What did I do to make the situation happen? But I think the ultimate version of the hypertrophy, when the muscle becomes a tendon or it just becomes fused, is when you don't even consider how you feel. It's just not a thought. You just do it.
That's that movement from sort of type 2 to type 1 thinking. You know, from it being very conscious, very effortful to it's just a reaction. I get up and I start to write.
Right.
And
you don't use up any willpower.
No, because it's just what you do.
You know, success is all about a lifestyle. I lived the lifestyle of the champion at 14. Discipline. It's all about discipline, doing what you hate to do, but doing it like you love it. That's what it's all about.